Well, good evening or morning or middle of the day, middle of the night, wherever you are. Hi, it's the time of the week where we come together to just have some fun, doing different things, clicking buttons, and in general, it's for doing some card readings, a few little things, differently. And I just remembered that I hadn't sent this. I hadn't sent the link to Leanne just in case she could get here, but I'm not sure that she can. So I'm just going to do that into the background, see if she's able to. And I just need to go and find my Facebook page. No, profile, messenger, something like that. Good evening to those who are popping in and putting comments in the chats. It's lovely to see you here, Carol. Lovely, lovely. And we've got Rena. Yes, she caught me on a Friday. And you have, will your sewing idea be successful, please? Wow, that's a good question. That is a good question. I'm just going to see if I can find quickly Leanne's messenger, just to drop the link in case she is able to pop in. I haven't actually checked and asked. I dare say it's probably because I've become so used to having Leanne with me that now that she's not able to all the time, yes, just one of those things, isn't it? And good evening, Diane. No, I didn't say good evening to you before. Just trying to wonder. I probably am getting a little mixed up between the morning and the evening, aren't I? I would have seen you this morning, hey? And there you go. Deirdre, you're finally able to be here for the Friday Frolic. Not that there's much frolicking at the moment on My Time TV for a change. Yeah, that's cool. It's good to switch over and see what the different aspects are. And what I'm doing too is sharing a wine with you because I actually had to open a bottle for my dinner. I made a nice tuna thingy and it needed white wine. And I thought, I don't feel like white wine afterwards. So I cracked a red instead. It still tastes very nice, even with red wine in the recipe. And because I'm an adult and it is Friday night, we can have a little tipple, can't we? Oops, I already put that up. No, it's not affecting me that quickly, I can tell you. And good evening, Deborah. How are you? I am actually quite well, but it's just I think the wind with the storminess has really started to wear down my resistance to actually wanting a nana nap. I didn't have one today because I was busy with other things and some readings. G'day, Mandy. I will get to some of the cards shortly. And we've got Nikki here as well. Is that a Christmas hat? Oh, you're not coming up for... Is that a July and Christmas in July or something? Because we're not that close to Christmas yet, are we? I mean, I know the countdown is almost going to start because I'm sure Shaz would be one that would be, as in my a girlfriend I have, friend who is a girl, that she starts her countdown very early. And hi, Lena. Lovely to have you here as well. And we've got Norma. Good evening, Norma. And Deirdre, you've just finished coffee, so you can't join me in a drink. Oh, does it make a difference? It's only a flavour. Mix them up. My thinking on it. So I will, what I thought I'd do tonight, because I like doing the buttons and stuff, I thought what I'd do is go to the table. No, not the table. I've got the table there. What I wanted to do was actually use this Divination Divided using the Mystical Lenormand deck. So I'm just going to work slowly through those who are here and do because we haven't got many numbers yet. So I'll do Carol's first. And what I'm going to do with this then is do the 1 to 60 brings up which of the Divination Divided. You'll see in a minute how it actually works. So I'll go like that. You hear it. I'm hoping you're hearing this all of this, and I'm not speaking to thin air. So then I change over to this one, I'll move these cards out of it, the cover out of it. And in this one, we go to what is the spread. So it's number what? 55, isn't it? Oh, 55 is down the bottom. This goes in numerical like that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You can tell how often I've actually used this deck. So here's spread 55. I am going to go a little closer to the table. We'll zoom in a bit so that you can see more clearly what I'm seeing. Okay, now you can see that. So I'm just going to shuffle these cards. You can see the shadows of me shuffling there. Okay, so you've got 3 cards, 2, 3. It creates a short little story. So what we've got for you tonight, Carol, is there something I need to know about the other party? So there's some form of partnership, relationship, friendship that you're in that you're needing to sort something out, or, you know, there's just something. This is what the spread is that's been chosen for you by Spirit, okay? So you've got the Sun. So I would say that there's a bright personality in the other party that we're looking at with this, and it's taking a bit of time to work through some form of issue that you're negotiating as a combined party as such. So what your likelihood of success is the key is actually an opening. So it's giving you the opportunity to actually open that door or lock it, depending on which way you want the result to go and what's the bottom line. It actually comes down to communication. So it might be that you need to actually almost write a formal agreement with this particular party, Carol. I'm almost feeling like there's some sort of arrangement that you're wanting to make, and make it a bit more formal so it's clearly understood what those goals are that you might have. Almost feels like a bit of a partnership. So hopefully that means something to you, Carol. Okay. And we've got Rena here. I'm going to just do this again, and we shall spin the wheel again. Let me have a look. We'll go to the cards. I'm clearing my cards that I'm shuffling at the moment. We'll spin this. Oh, and what we've got is spread 59 for you, Carol. Not Carol, we just did that. Rena, isn't it? So here we've got 59. I'll switch it over to this one. There we go. And we've got what goal must you set? How to achieve your personal best with that goal, and the most important, learning curve. Wow, this is an interesting one because I haven't had that one before. Bit of a mountain for you to climb over, I think, as far as that goal. So what goal have you got to set? It's going to be, it seems like it's insurmountable, but honestly, we're not given anything that's not, that we can't handle. So if you're feeling there's something that you're actually wanting to do, what is that goal that you would like to set, and then go for it? So how do you achieve the personal best? Now, this card is the Man. Oh, I think it is. I think I better get the 28 is the Man. I'm just going to get the little guidebook out because I might need to just consult that. It looks like it's a 28. Yeah, I think it is. It's definitely the Man, gentleman. So that's what we've got for you. So how do you achieve the personal best? I think what that means, it's in a sense that what you're going to need to do, Rena, is ask for a bit of a hand, a bit more from, and I think it's probably to do with strength, muscle power, and that type of thing. That's what I'm sensing from that one. And the most important learning curve is to actually, here we've got a message being sent. It is card 27. That is the letter. So it's almost in writing, probably very similar to what we had for Carol in the sense of formal agreement, just asking you in the form, like write it, text, something like that. It is going to be in writing so that you can confirm and remind yourself about what you're actually going to need to learn, or that you are learning from this experience. I feel it's actually, the learning is that you're needing to, it is okay to ask for help when it's needed. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from that one. So I'll just go back to this. So for you, Rena, that's what you had. Now your sewing, being successful. D, I am feeling a yes, the sewing idea, but we'll do a, my my pendulum's got a knot in it. Have a look at that. There is a knot in my chain. I'm just going to do a quick pendulum for you, Dee. Now, I've got to go that way. We'll show it against my black shirt. So for D, will her sewing idea be successful, please? Now, I'm getting a no via the pendulum. So there you go. And yet at that spirit connection level, what I'm getting is a yes. So what we'll actually do, once I get the knot out of this chain, it could be the knot blocking the energy. Let's see if it is. And that's not quite that easy to undo quickly, because like anything, if you want to do something in a hurry, it doesn't flow well, does it? Especially when you put pressure on yourself, it's not the best way of doing things. There we go. So that now is, and I've got to put it that way. So, no, that way. And there you can't see it. No, look what I'll do. I'm going to put it on the table. So we'll go like this and see what the pendulum says, Dee. Let's see. Here we go. Now, is this pendulum completely and energetically clear? What I'm getting is a no, so that's probably why it wasn't doing its thing properly. So I've just cleansed it. Interesting doing all this live, isn't it? Right, now, show me a yes, and a no, and a maybe. Now you can see that I'm not moving my hand, it's just sitting there. Oh, whoops. Now, is Dee's idea for her sewing idea going to work out? So there we go. It's actually showing a yes now. So I think I had the energy blocked there. Now, what we're going to do is go over to the thingy, and you can have a spin of whichever of these. So it's going to be 39. So that is as well on the bottom. And see how they, I think you're getting the idea of how they work. Hang on, except I've got to put the button over that way. So where's 39? Ooh, 4 cards. Got hair everywhere. Now I've got to pick the cards up from there. So what are the challenges? And this is to do with your sewing project. I would imagine it's going to be relevant for that, Dee. So I need to put the cards up the other way. So what are the challenges? There we've got the ring. Action you must take. Oh, this is going to run out of room with the 4 cards, isn't it? Actions you must take. Then a summary if I take this advice. Oh, so it's a 3 at the top first. Okay, and then we've got the scythe. So this one here, the 8, of course, is the coffin. Okay, so we've got the ring, we've got the coffin, and we've got the scythe. And then a summary, if I take this advice, I'll just put that I'll just add that one as a, you're getting 3 cards, Dee. So with the ring, what are the challenges? It seems like it's never ending, I think, once it starts. Finding where you start, and if there is a finish, there probably isn't a finish. So what you're actually getting is just start anywhere around, whichever way that you want to do it, just start it. And the action you must take is, with the coffin, it's actually completion of something that you're shifting on. So there is an energy around something that you're currently doing that you're needing to finished, complete, let it go into that grief process. You have finished that part of what you're doing in your life at the moment, and you're going to move into what this next is with the sewing. And what's hidden is just be wary of the sharp needles, sharp scissors, and all that sort of stuff, because a scythe is that productivity. You're certainly going to be creating some good things out of that are going to be like a harvest. So you're going to be able to reap your rewards. But in the process, certainly watch out what you're doing with the needles, pins, and scissors, because what you're handling is going to be sharp objects. That's what I'm getting for you there, Dee, in a very positive sense. So move with it and, take the risk. I think it's worthy of giving it a go. So step into it. And then what we're going to do now is the next one is Diane. I'm just moving down slowly. So this is why it pays to come in fairly early for for the Friday Frolics, doesn't it? And I've got the position of this camera is just a bit high, low, high, whichever way. I looked like I was peeking over the comments there, that bit. So here we go, Diane. For you, we'll go to the spinner, and we're going to choose which spread as I shuffle these cards a little. And number 23. So that's on the top line. I'll get it close to that one. Shift it over. And we're on 18, 22, and 23. So how to improve. Keep in mind, what is it that you're wanting to, is there something that you're needing to improve in your life at the moment? And it certainly is that we got likelihood of getting the same cards. Looks pretty high, doesn't it? Because we have. And I need to change the camera over. Well, that's a bit interesting, trying to get them to fit. I think that's because the comments are going to be a bit different each time. So how do you improve? It's actually by letting some of the old stuff go, things that are actually dead in the water and not needing to be given resus. That's the message I'm getting. So if something's obviously not working, don't keep up with it and let it go. So what you should be doing, what you should avoid doing, is continuing on that same path. So with this mounting, it's just making things hard for yourself, trying to struggle and keep them going when they're not necessarily needing to be given that breath of life, is what I'm feeling. So let them pass through in that natural course of events, or deliberately move it on like we can with the coffin, because it's effectively buried. And we do leave that sort of thing there in the history of what our life is once we bury things. So as far as that energy goes around something you're wanting to move forward into, don't push something. The saying, don't flog a dead horse, has just come up in my head. So things to carry forward is you have a key that will unlock the new pathway, new doorway. You have the key to actually lock away until another time for those things that you don't want to completely bury, but you need to put in abeyance, that you need to give them a break for a while, and you can lock them away until such time as you open it again. That's what I'm feeling with this key being that tool that's most important for you. So keep it moving in that way. It's discernment. It's knowing the when to stop pushing it, and when to lock it away or open up that new doorway. It's things that that are in process, and to progress it accordingly. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you there, and we'll move on to. We've got Deborah now, and I'll just shuffle these cards a little better this time. So for those who are popping in, even if you're on replay, it'd be lovely if you'd mention replay as part that you're here as a replay. But also for those who are currently here right now, it's lovely to know to share where you're from, what country at least, because we are a global community these days, and it's wonderful to find out that is, the distance away, and how this technology really does help with this sort of stuff. Having these wonderful evenings, fun frolics and all sorts. Now, here we've got the spinner, and for you, Deborah, you're going to have the layout 25, so that's about here. I'll just get very close, put that there. We've got the table, that's 24, and here we've got 25. Oh, wow. So we've got for you, Deborah, advantages of this partnership. So there's a partnership that you're currently in and the disadvantages. So the advantages that are there, wow, strength, some nurturing, looking after we've got mountains still. And you did hear I actually shuffled them fairly well. I'm just going to turn off the heater. I'm just hearing that's a bit noisy. Sorry, I've forgotten to do that earlier. So with the bear, what we're needing to do with that, I'm just going to try and get that so that we can see it a bit more. No, that's as far as it can go. Yeah, I can't zoom that up any further. So with the bear, it is the workhorse almost. So the advantages are that you're able to work together very well, and there is that care and nurture that goes along with that as well too, from what I can see. This here, I'm just going to see if it can focus in under the camera, because I think it almost looks like a dove or something, but I can't see it. My eyesight's going a bit gaga. Is that focusing careful enough or not? What is that? Oh, that almost looks like it's a bear going for the honey pot, the honey hive. Bees, yes, there. See the bee that's sitting on that wood? So it's the bee is working towards getting some food for itself. And we've got another little creature, a beetle looking along. You look at how this bear is, it almost looks angry. Maybe it's been stung, but it's productive. It's out there and it's doing for itself. It's got the right tools with the type of claws. So what I'm seeing from this is, in this partnership that you currently have, that there is a working together to gain what you need. Now, part of the disadvantages is it can be hard slog, and there may be that sense of feeling that it's a bit of an uneven balance of what you've got together in who's doing what level of work. So that's something that you might need to actually bring together in conversation, have that you can sort out that feeling of difference that isn't quite balanced enough. You need to actually sort that out, so it's not you doing all of it or the other partner doing all of it. So that it is more even, that what you're actually heading towards as your goal is shared well. And I think that's something that you will figure out as you're moving forward, but you need to have those conversations. Okay, Deborah? And we've got Mandy who's asked for a card. Let's go over to the spinner, because I like the spinner. And we'll see what we're doing for your spread, Mandy, and it's number 41. Let me go close to it before I flip over to the table. And here we are. We've got 41 here as what steps would make my life more meaningful and the outcome or advice. So let me see what these cards are going to give for you, or what Spirit will be sending you as your message. Because I do believe myself that regardless of what tool we use, when we trust that the message is coming from Spirit, that is where it is coming from. And what we have here for you is card 6, which I think is the clouds. It looks like the clouds to me. Quick look. And 11 is the whip. or whips. In this deck, it's a very, and I've got it crooked again. I must have shifted it. Is that showing up? No, got to move it again. So with this deck, the whip it looks awfully sad, but anyway, what steps would make your life more meaningful? I think it's, what we have in our life is it's a movement between different flows of energy. So the dark clouds, the light clouds, the feelings of up and down. It's almost like the seesaw, but what is more meaningful is actually observing as if being the witness. Here we've got the monkey with the parrot, looking like they're in bliss land, deserted island type of feeling, a beautiful beach with the lovely water, relaxed, calm, really enjoying what is the display from the clouds. So I think what makes life meaningful is being able to observe as if we're a witness and not actually becoming too connected or having it being too much of the judgment that there is good and bad, that it's just an observation that this is what's happening and enjoying the moments as we're being part of but not a part of. I hope you can understand that. And that outcome, as far as an outcome or advice with the whip, it's just allowing the energy to move. This card in this one, I find very much almost a downer, because it's certainly depicting what is the self-flagellation that's been very much connected to some orthodox or very old religious sects and things. And I think, well, these days there's absolutely I don't know that it's an acceptable behaviour. I think using the whips is just moving the energy. And I do prefer the Gilded Reverie whip card, because it is actually more of that cracking a whip to get the energy flowing. It's the sound that it makes that move, it's the vibrations of sound. It's that is creating an energy to give us incentive to move on, not like this being almost a punishment. I don't feel that from this card, because I do think the whips, from my own farming as a kid, being part of a farm as a kid, hearing that whip crack, it was just exciting to see the reaction of the dogs and the cows, and being able to keep things moving. So that's what I'm feeling from this, is just keeping the energy moving and having that intention as you're moving through your day, being conscious of what's happening around you and keeping that flow happening, in just accepting that some things are as they are, right? So, and you don't actually have to do something every time just because it's there. That's what I'm feeling for you. Right, Mandy, we're going on to Nikki now. So there's a good evening from Nikki. I know I'm probably going to be really slow at this. There's lots of comments now at the bottom that there wasn't many to start with, which there never is. Here we go. Does pay to be first in line, or early. Here we go. Now, I've shuffled them briefly. Here's the spinner. Let's go. So for you, Nikki, here we go. Number 16. So that's on the top layer. Let's move these over. Get that one there. And here we go at the table. I've already got the 16 up. So here's the spread, the energy of this situation. Oh, whoops, pays to turn it over the other way, doesn't it? How do you feel? Oops, and I better check that they're up the right way. At least with Lenormand, there's not a reverse. How does the other party feel? That's that way. And what is the next step forward? And I'll put that up there. Counts that. Oh, there you go. Right, so energy of this situation, it almost feels like there's something in the energy around you, Nikki, that is on that completion, that final stage. Okay, whoops, sorry if it's making anyone feel a bit So the coffin card is indicating there is coming up to be a finalisation or completion around something in your life. How are you feeling? Look, it feels to me like there's an awareness that you knew it was coming. There's a readiness to actually move on and become more playful around what you've got happening in your life. You know, it is that being ready and the unconditional love factor. So it's an understanding and readiness for that next step. So how does the other party feel? Now, because this is the ring card, it's not actually the birds or anything, even though there's a bird and you can see a reflection. It is the ring. So there is a cycle. There's the next stage on how they feel. I think there was an awareness that things will continue on. And probably in their situation might be that it feels like it's just, another cycle around the moon or around the earth or whatever. It just feels that that's not your issue. And I do think that that's where you need to bring that boundary for yourself around how the other party feels. I don't think it's not your responsibility. It's just reflecting back, because this here is a mirror on that other side. I don't think it's a window. I feel it's a mirror, and it's reflecting back to them what they need to be learning, and you need to let it go. Because what's the next step forward? It is to actually let go what is not your responsibility. The cross, and that's another completion in the Lenormand, because it's the last card of what the deck is. And it's usually about responsibility and letting go, handing back to that is responsible for those actions. I think it's probably a bit to do with actions have consequences, and it needs to be that allowance of completing that cycle. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling there for you, Nikki. Okay, and I'll go back to me and I'll shuffle the cards whilst I surreptitiously clear that deck again. Though it's a bit hard to do surreptitious when you're live streaming, isn't it? You can hear me shuffling the cards. So there you go. I'm looking at that, Rena, and I'm sort of thinking, way too early to think about the C word. I'm not sure quite. I can't remember what that was in reference to. My goodness, was that the coffee? I don't know. I've finished my coffees for the day. I decided I would not have another. And that was Nikki, wasn't it? So we've actually got this one here from Alina. You'd love to have the card reading, so I'll go over to the iPad and we'll go to the spinner. I gave that a good spin. And oh my goodness, that's spread 18. That was very close. All I needed to do was flip it, except I closed it, didn't I? So let's go over to 18. Here we go. You're going to get a fairly good look at the different spreads that are actually in this book. I find it very amazing. So the problem, so it's going to suggest a problem that you may not have been aware of, Lena, and who or what is the cause of it and how do you resolve it? So here we've got the problem. Something a wee bit too hot or too slow. And then we've got the who or what is the cause of it. And doesn't look like much of a problem to me, because what we've got with this one, I'm just moving it, the sun, but also included in this picture is the camel. So maybe there's something that you're wanting to hurry up and it's not going to go in a hurry. Wherever you are, it could be even too hot for you, too hot to handle. And it's something that's going to be a bit of a challenge, because the camels are also about challenging perseverance, but it's persevering. So you will get there with it, but you need to actually persevere even through whatever conditions are going to be around that. So who or what is the cause? Now, this is the Clover card. So is it a problem? Maybe too much good luck can be, because in long-term situations, it could cause some form of I don't know, greediness comes to mind, but I don't think it's even that. It's sometimes just that, that it can become too easy where it's not being worked for, if you understand what I mean with that. And I think you probably do, Lena. So what can you do to resolve it is you hold the key. You do actually have the key of the knowing what you need to do next. So whatever it is that's happening, and what you do next for that is for the best good of all in it, in whatever it is that situation is for you. So it'll crop up and you'll know what this is actually speaking to at that point in time. Okay, Lena? Cool. Lena. Now we've got Norma who's joined us as well. I'll get the cards up, shuffle them, and see what's next. It's an interesting thing. I haven't done much of my Facebook, checking out things and bits and pieces because I don't watch the news on TV. I hardly watch any TV except for NCIS. That's my partner and Sharon. My family, they know I watch NCIS. And I've seen every episode pretty much, repeats and otherwise. But anyway, here we go for yours. Now, it's interesting that some of the things that I've just managed to catch up with on the Facebook today, and I sort of think, wow, is that really going on in the world? What's going on in the world for you? And here we go. This is good ways of actually checking it out and finding what is happening for everybody to a degree, with the sense of, wow, readings, they really do bring in different information, don't they? Now, what part of this is your soul's journey? And you have, oh goodness, you've got the rider. You're on a new journey. What's the best way to prepare yourself? That's the 2, and that's a man. What will assist to bring more harmony? Let's have a look, and that is card 30. Oh, actually, I think that's bouquet or flowers. Let's see what this guidebook actually gives that as 30. Because I'm not 100% familiar with all of the cards in this deck. I've only had this deck for a very short time and not actually used it. So there you go. That's actually the lilies card. So that's lilies. Wow, there you go. And then the 4th card, that is the outcome, we'll just put up here next to the outcome. And that is 12, which is the birds. And in this deck, oh my, it's owls. Oh, I love owls, as you would know. Most of you would know that are regular here. Yes, it's definitely the owls. Beautiful, beautiful. Love it. I do love that. So on what part's your soul's journey? Your soul's journey is always on a new, like as if every day is a new day. So there's going to be a new journey, like a new ride forward. New messages are coming in for you as to what you're needing to do for that soul's journey. So be aware of what messages you're receiving from Spirit, most especially, but there could be different things that come in that alert you to what is coming for that next step. And I've just seen that there's a snake down the bottom there. Yep, it is too. A nice alert snake. So be aware of what is happening around you as you are moving through your day. So what's the best way to prepare? It actually is being ready with the people who are around you, stepping into your more masculine energy and being strong for whatever situation is next on that journey. Now, what's going to bring more harmony is the essence of the lilies. And that goes back to ancestry and family, the more historical of what's been brought forward in our genetic pool, but also the history of our family, and that brings that continuity into our life as why we chose this particular family to be part of. And it's tapping into that's the wisdom of all of that's brought forward into who you are, in particular with the genetics that you have, the combination of members in the family and all of that is history. So tap into that and move forward with that as part of your soul's journey. So that's what Spirit have got for you, Norma. So enjoy that experience and go with the flow of it. It's lovely to see that as a reading. I haven't seen that before. There's many of these readings in this Divination Divided that I haven't seen yet. So it's exciting to be able to try different tools, isn't it? I find that anyway. So there we go. Now, I think I've done Deirdre's and Renna's there, and it's the first time that I've seen a Mark here as well. And welcome aboard that you've popped in today or tonight, because I'm not sure where you're from. So I'll just go for a quick looky down and see if there's anything particular I need to take note of at the moment. Not that I can see. If there is anyone that pops up, and I haven't gone for a detailed look, if there's anyone that pops in that is asking you to friend them and inbox them for a free reading and the rest, do not, unless you want to get caught up in the web of spamming that, they are in general spamming you, or trolls, or whatever the term is that you want to use. Don't respond to them, because don't answer back to them, because I do go back in and ban and do that sort of thing afterwards. So and you can do exactly the same thing. It is the right click or hold your finger on it to hit that report, spam, and what else comes up, I can't remember. For me, because I'm hosting this, it comes up as ban and block, I think. So what you feel you need to do with that, go for it. Now, here we go for Marg's spin. See what spread she's going to get, and that is a 11. So we'll go to the table. It's on 19. I'll change it over to 11. Let's see how far we need to go. One more. Here we go. Now, how should you direct your energy? Here we go. And what new thing should I do next? Is that one. And how can I be more proactive about this situation? Wow. Nice cards. Yes, we've had them before, but because it's a different question being asked, it really does broaden out how the meanings of cards and any type of tool can be different each time. And what I might receive direct from Spirit could be different and much more specific. So how should you direct your energy? Have that awareness. And this comes back to I'm hoping to shift to there, just so we can see that monkey, because there's some attention being paid to what's happening around the monkey. So how do you direct your energy? Be observant. It's actually allowing you that time to sit back and just watch the world. See what's going on around you. You don't have to continually be within it, as in active. Rest. Have a wonderful time of just sitting back and observing and enjoying what's happening around you. Other people's interactions with each other. This is the clouds are an energy that are shifting and moving as they do. We don't see clouds staying static, do we? They are there in that, the atmosphere as a temporary thing. So just sit and observe. All things are temporary. We're guaranteed that each moment changes. So what should you do next? Here we've got the bouquet. It's, I think that's what it is. Card 9, I think. I'm just going to double check it to this guidebook thing. Yep, flowers, bouquet. So it's enjoying another aspect of what is surrounding you. So what should you do? You can stop and smell the roses. Have that time that is going to be yours, relaxing, being just, it is. It's being is what I'm getting for you. And how can you do more proactive things about it is actually take that walk. Move out and about and into the sunshine. If you're in Australia, it's winter, so you might find it a bit hard to find sunshine, but metaphorically speaking, enjoy what you're doing. Feel that positive energy moving through your day as you're doing whatever you need to be doing, but in that space of your time that you have management over, you can sit back, relax, smell the roses, do what you find pleasure in. And that is proactive. You need to be doing that. Take that step and actually get that part of your life active, looking after you, to enjoy it. Do what you love doing. So that's what you've got there, Ma. So, and now, what have you written here? Evening, Ros. Happy Friday. Could I ask, should I move to new office I viewed on Wednesday? Do you pick up if it's a good move or stay where I am? Ah, interesting. I'm getting a yes at my third eye level. I'm not going to ask the pendulum. I'm not feeling steady enough for that now. But what I am going to do is pick up the 3 cards I left sitting on the table and shuffle them in the deck as well. I left them behind. So there we go. I'll shuffle 3 times and we'll do a spin for you. Here we go, Nat. There we go. Whee! I shouldn't say that, should I? And we've got 52 for you. Let's go over to the deck table. We'll go to the deck. Now, there is 60 in here, so it's about there. Nah, missed. Oh, 49 instead. 51, 52. I think someone's already had this one, haven't they, tonight? Right. Oh, no, they haven't. So, why? Let's see. There's the why. Because you need to stop and smell the roses. What to embrace? Ooh, I think that's a book. And advice or outcome. Or have we had this? And what to release. Now, which way are we reading this? That one's a little bit obscure. Hang on. Let me see. I'm just going to shift that over that way. So we're getting the cards, not the blank deck. So we're going to read this as the why. I think because it is time to actually let's answer it to the new office. It looks like a new bunch of flowers in a lovely fresh bowl of water, vase type of thing. I'm actually feeling that this, should you stay or should you go to a new one that you've viewed, I'm just going to confirm that 26 is definitely booked because I think it is. Yeah. So it does feel like, a book. So that's what to embrace with a book. It almost feels like staying in a beautiful space of restfulness. Now, the new one, you like it, you feel that it's attracting you and that you'd actually like to book in your time and actually go there. The 20, I'm not sure whether it's advice or outcome or what to release. I think it probably is almost like the 20 would be the park. That's going to be, or the garden or the park. Has that new space got garden or surroundings of that type? Or is it inner parklands? Yeah, it is park. Is it going to move you into somewhere that's a little more public and to be able to be seen? So I'm feeling that it probably is, and then anchor in what you're actually wanting to set as your goals, because with the anchor, I think that, what we're looking at is why, what to embrace, what to release, and then advice or outcome. I do feel that this one here is the advice or outcome. It was the last one that I laid down, and that usually is what is an outcome, isn't it? So how we'll read the flow of this, I think, is to do that. If where you're anticipating wanting to go, is it going to bring you more to the public notice and to be seen and to enjoy that new space? If you feel it is really nice and attractive, I feel that it probably is something that you can shift into with confidence. Is how I'd interpret that. But what do you think? What do you think there, Nat? So now I've done Margs. We did that just before. So Linda, we've got Linda here now as well. So I'll just pick up those cards and we can do the spinner and get into a reading there. I'm just reading the one underneath. It's interesting because this is going to 5 different destinations. I'm not sure which space and place you're actually commenting in. It doesn't give me anything except that it's a Facebook or a YouTube, because I've just noticed that there is a YouTube down the bottom here of my screen. So anyway, who we've got next is Linda. And I am well. So here we go. We'll go to the spinner. And there we go for you, Linda. And it's going to be number 24. So we'll just get the top one somewhere near it. And here we go. It's showing 25. And here's 24. They are a bit slippery, actually. So does he, she like me? So it's a bit more around some form of relationship. Are they mature enough emotionally? I'd say already from the fact that it's the dog. I'm just going to shift this down and over a little bit to get more of that, because we're going to need the space. They're mature enough emotionally. Is he or she ready to commit? And what else should I be aware of? And that's up the top. So that's almost an outcome-ish type of thing. We'll see. Let's place that to the right. We'll put them in a line like it's a sentence. Okay, let's see if that works a bit better to fit them in. So, do they like you? My summary on that one with a dog. Dogs are unconditional love. And I would suggest that, yes, there is a like factor happening there. Are they mature enough to handle it emotionally, a relationship or a connection? And I'd say, with a scythe, I would put that as being ready to harvest, because this one in this picture is the load ready to go. So I think it probably is mature, that they are mature enough to handle the emotional side of whatever the relationship may be. As far as are they ready to commit, I think there probably is some self-doubt around that, because this is the whip, but it also is, for me, from the Gilded Reverie Lenormand and the knowing those messages from the whip, that it's keeping the energy flowing and moving. So I'd say yes, ready and able, ready to go, wanting to actually go to a deeper friendship commitment and moving it forward. So what else should you be aware of? I think it's just be ready to accept the flowers and move through with whatever is that next stage, that next step for you. So that would be what I'd say is your message there, Linda. So there you go. Now, this is the one I'm sort of looking at this and thinking, D's Shah, after long I managed to get you live, Leanne, so happy. The only thing is, I'm not Leanne, I'm Ros Boundy, Ros Boundy Psychic Medium. And I do have Leanne on here fairly frequently as a guest, but over the last couple of months she's not been able to. So there's been other things that she has done. I do send her the link, and when she can, she'll pop in, but she hasn't been able to tonight, obviously, because she's not here with us. So, yes, I'm doing it as a solo, but I'm Ros, which is fine, Dee. I'm hoping that you'll be fine with having a card, because you do mention that down here. So there you've got it. Yeah, please, can you have a card reading? So I'm going to go back to that one, because then I know where I'm up to and don't miss, well, who is it next? Ali. And I don't think I've done one for Ali yet. So, and I'm pretty sure I haven't. So here we go. Here's your spin, Dees. So you've got, spread number 6. So let's go to the table. And That's way up the front. So let's go 4, 5, 6. Here we go. So what is hidden? So there's something that's going to be revealed right now. Ooh, receiving communication, a letter, probably something that's going to be written to you. And the challenge is finding out, the solution. Oh, I like this sequence. I like this story. So what's hidden? I'm feeling there's I think there's a person that you are keen. It's feeling like there's a person that you're waiting to receive some communication from, and it hasn't been forthcoming. But I think it almost feels like go and look in your junk mail in your inbox and check that, because it doesn't feel like it's the handwritten form, but it is certainly a personal communication from someone that you've not realized has been hidden, and it is in that junk box. Hopefully you haven't deleted them, because it's not, I'm feeling it's a bit more of a surprise, and the challenge is trying to find it. Here we've got the fox that's in, reflection mode. You can see the reflection in this river, creek, whatever it is, brook, lake. It's not complete. You can't see it very clearly, but you know that it's a reflection. So I'm feeling that what you're needing to do is hunt reasonably well through your emails or messages to see if there's something that you've missed. And I think that it is something that needs to be followed up, because the solution is there once you find it. So you're needing to actually, and I can't tell you who it's from. I'm almost getting a letter L in a shape as I'm seeing the messages I'm receiving. So bring that forward, look for anything that's got L's involved as well. So it does feel like it's more the capital L. So it could be the starting letter of the person's name that you're receiving this communication from. So this is the message for you. It's a bit of a challenge, and there's a little bit of work on your part to actually search for it, but you will find it. And what it means for you, it's going to be something that's worthwhile, the hunt, okay, and looking for it. So I'm not getting I'm not getting anything else for you from that one. So good luck with that, finding the L and L letter communication. It almost feels like there's a whole thing of, those sequence. Whatever it is. I think I must be getting tired. I think I need another sip. Let me have my second sip of wine tonight. Actually starting to get a bit of a dry throat. So thanks for popping in, Dees. And we've got Ali here. And I know that Ali, you're wanting to have a spin. So I'll go to that one purely because Rena, who's in the middle on my list, has already had one. So here we go. Going to spin. And what have we got is a 38. Yay. Right, we'll go to the table for 38. 38 is, I don't think that's this one, is it? That's one of them over here. Yes. There we go. 38. Now that one didn't take long. I must be getting good at this. Right. The root cause behind this. So here's the root cause. Oh, you're going on a trip or something. Needing to spend some time. Something is taking a lot of time. First step forward to take is it's going to be a bit of work, and short-term vision is the Tower, and the long-term outcome is going to be that communication. Right, is letter. Right, so we've got ship, scythe, tower, and letter. So what's happening in your life? It feels like there's something that you really want to have move fairly faster than what it actually is. So something is taking more time than you want it to. There's too many other variables that are in this situation that's creating that impatience and having to wait. You've got no choice. It's beyond your control. It's whatever the direction the wind is going to create, because there's all these different types of sails, colours, etc., creating that is causing delay, and it's beyond your control. So that's the root cause behind it. First step forward is to actually do what you can that is within your control. You have the control of the scythe, so use it wisely. Trim what needs to be trimmed off, weed, do what a scythe does, and you will end up having that harvest come in. So it's just going to take some time, a bit of work and time. So the short-term vision is wanting everything instantly and being able to get to it instantly, where, as you can see here, we've got the ship that probably is the only way to get to what this tower is, but it's going to take the due process in between. Okay, so the short-term vision is you will get there, but don't be so, it's like, don't be so impatient. It does feel like there's things battering the walls, that's like hitting a head against a brick wall, but there does need to be that patience. And the long-term outcome is the success of receiving what message you need to. It's the letter, it's communication. You'll hear what you need to at the right time. And just allow yourself to breathe. Give it that space and time that it needs, and you will actually end up getting the result. And it will be in writing, in whatever form what is the situation. There's something that's going to be in a written form for you to move through with that, but have the patience, okay? Now, going to get the cards again. And we'll move on to, and thank you for popping in too, Ali. It's lovely to have everybody here, actually. And and there, Rena has put feedback from her reading too. Yes, asking for help is a biggie. So thank you, Rena. And we've got here is the one that is the first one we've got from my YouTube channel. So can you ask a serious question? Do you find certain members in the psychic community are exploiting vulnerable members of our society, and have you ever heard some of the terrible advice they give? Look, I am aware that there are charlatans. I know and am aware that there are people in the industry, because the psychic mediumship, clairvoyant, all situations, all occupations that we have going across the board all have the potential to have charlatans and duds, basically, people who are wanting to exploit others. I think it goes to the point of, yes, there are some terrible things that are given as advice. I've received some myself many years past. That's why, there's certain things that I will not advise or say to another, especially if it's uninvited. I will not push myself onto another in the respect of giving a reading if it's not asked for. That's one of my boundaries, and there are certain people that do push into others' spaces and faces, really, around that. So it's like any area, nurse who cares. It's lovely that you've asked, and it is a question that we do need to be aware of as far as finding the answers. A lot of the time we actually find out that what we've been feeling and thinking when we go to get advice from elsewhere, we've known all along from within ourselves, and it's actually just confirming that. So I think really our lesson in life is to trust what our connection is with our spiritual guidance more succinctly, and really stepping into that by the actions we follow through with as part of that traveling in trust with our spirit guides. And whether you call them angels or whether it is spiritual guides or a universe, whatever your feeling is your name you need to use, that's okay. It's trust. It's having that unconditional love all round, but following in trust, using our discernment, because we have our life experiences as part of that tool to use for giving trust. It's everything is a two-way street, isn't it? So lovely to have you here. I'm not sure if you're wanting to have a card, a spin yourself there, Nurse Who Cares, because I'm not too sure. You haven't asked for one, but I have been giving a reading for those who are on here. So I will assume that you are okay, like being here, to have that permission, that I have the permission to do a reading for you, if that's okay. So if you're still here, maybe you could put that down the bottom and I'll do your reading as I move through some others, because I'm just not sure. Just from that question, it seems that you have a little uncertainty around a trust issue for readers, for those who do give psychic advice. So I might leave it. If you're still here, do certainly put in that, yes, I'd love a reading further down, like under your own comment, because you're the only one showing up from YouTube at the moment. So here we go. I'll move through with it in this way, because I don't want to go against somebody's wishes in that respect. It's funny. I assume that people, when they're in these types of sessions, that you're wanting to have a reading. So here we go. Now, Melinda, have I done one for you yet? I don't think I have I? No. I'm just scrolling back just to make sure. Because it's past the hour and I'm already through not many. So, it doesn't seem like it. I only started at 7:30 and I'm only a quarter of a way through the time relevance of where I'm at. But that's fine. Let's go to the spinner, and we're doing one for Melinda. And this one, the emphasis is on love. So I think that one's moving. There we go. I've got that there. Hold on a sec. I've got the right page now. So here we go. And I have shuffled them. So let's go. Negative influence around love. Wow. This is going to be an interesting one to try and read. Negative influence from the stars. I've never had it. Positive influence. That's definitely a good one, because it's harvest. And we've just read some of that with the... am I moving up? This is where the direction of where I go with my mouse is interesting. Then we've got the near future. And here we go, the distant future. Oh, regarding love. Interesting. Negative influence with the stars. Sometimes we can actually put so much emphasis on the wishes rather than actually living in the present. So I think as far as your negative influence goes, there's been a lot of wishing without actually getting out and about and meeting people, or putting in that mindset that you're ready for love. And love isn't just the agape love or whatever that is, that I'm in love with someone. It's that long-lasting, and I think that's the term, agape love. It's that is unconditional love. So we're, looking to the stars is good, but it's bringing that to earth and grounding in with it, having that shift into action. And this is where the positive influence is coming into this particular reading for you, Melinda, with the scythe. It's harvesting. It's being able to do something towards that intent and, the result, the goals that you want as far as harvesting, stepping into that positive mindset around love and really inviting it in and saying, yes, I'm ready. And so is the harvest ready. It's also the near future being confirmed, as in bringing in the anchor. Make sure that it's actually tied to something solid and stable, so that you are anchoring in that love intention. And as far as a distant future goes, I think you're probably going to succeed with this, because what you've got here in this card is the ring. And that definitely is indicative of what a end result of a lot of love relationships can be, is in the ring of engagement, wedding, in whatever way you want to make your vow to each other as that end result. So I do feel it is positive for you. And shifting into that energy of bringing in that positive intention around it with the right mindset, unconditional love, not just the short-term pleasure of what can be body love, but the longer-term emotional, spiritual connection with a partner as well. So in whatever way that means for you. Now, going to the next one is, and Dee has mentioned, yep, she understands. So cool. Good. Hey, g'day, Michaela. Lovely to see you here as well. I really am very slow at doing this one, aren't I? I like Diane's comment next. I will show that. And I'll just quickly see for Michaela whilst I'm doing that. I don't know that the nurse, the YouTube nurse who cares, has stayed with us to respond. So I'll do this one. Let's go to there because I am aware I'm starting to get a bit tired and my throat's getting a bit sore. I need to, actually, while I'm doing that, I'll just do this. Number 1, Michaela. Right, that goes there. Flip over the whole lot. And there we go. We've got the past, present, future for you, Michaela. So here we go. It is the mice, past. Whoops, hang on. Got to shift that one up now. So you've got the mice as the past. The present is the sun and the future is, oh my goodness, have a look at that. What a bright, beautiful reading for such a short little reading. I think it's gorgeous. Past has been something that feels like the resources have been there, but they've been eaten away by you, everyone else as well. It's like the little thieves in the night come in and steal everything and just munch away happily, which is fine because you've had it at times and not at others. It's been what is a normal run of things, really, of what you can bring in from your past. It is the experiences that you've had that brings you to the present moment of that. It's a beautiful sunshine energy. It's a happy, it's a bright, it's warm, it's strong. And with the camels, it's persistent. It's ancient because this is the Egyptian pyramids in the background. And it really brings in that connection through all of time. And that gorgeous, it just looks happy. It's beautiful sunshine, it's warming, it's just all those things, and moving that into the future of, wow, this is the Garden of Eden of love. It's the unconditional, it's how life was meant to be created, I'm sure, of what we understand of what our creation is, of what our beingness is, in complete balance, with all creatures being happy together and everything being as it should be in our supplies, our resources, in how, the food is there, everything is there. So I think that's something really marvellous that you can take for yourself there, Michaela, as in, what is the future? Looking jolly good. So I'd say, yes, bring that positive energy of what is your Garden of Eden, and it will happen that way. It will be there for you. Create it as you move forward, that it's going to be as you want it. So cool. Now, I think we did do one. Did I do one for you, Diane? I have a funny feeling I did at the start there somewhere. Yeah, I had in the hellos, that level of what we did. So winning cards, well, they were, weren't they? They had to be, because they were brought from spirit. Now, Felicity, I know that I haven't done one for you, so this will have to be the last one. So thank you so much, everyone else. But take this also as your reading. If I haven't done one individually for you, take this also as the energy around what your own reading will be for tonight. So we're going to go over to the iPad, spin her around. 53. So let's get that one going and move over to 53. And We haven't had this one tonight yet either, because it's only 2 cards. So here we go. So for you, Felicity, most specifically, but for anyone else, here we go for you as well. What we have is do this, which is the lilies, and don't do this, which is the book. I find this interesting. It's almost, in a way, something that I would probably have as a reverse. Do this, it is saying rest, gather what is your peacefulness, because lilies really are that peaceful space and place that you can spend time. This is a Japanese tea ceremony, from what I can tell, and it really engenders that sense of peacefulness and connection to tradition, to what is our ancestry, to those who have passed, and bring forward what we are able to practice, because they have that knowledge, wisdom that continues to be brought forward, and we will pass forward to those who are our next generations, the future. So it's a continuity of almost time, but it's knowledge and wisdoms. So I think that's where have that mindfulness, but in that, bring it in a peaceful way and gently contemplate for yourself too what those learnings are that are from our past ancestry, and what we can bring, learn from history, from what we have experienced ourselves, even in our own life experiences. So do this in a wonderfully respectful and knowing way. Taking what we know for ourselves is going to be what we want to pass forward as well. Not just arbitrarily because it was tradition, but because there is a mindfulness and a thoughtfulness about the doing and continuing it forward. I'm hoping that you understand from that. Don't do this. And I think it's almost like a book that is being stood on a pedestal is like giving the absolute all-knowing power to something that really is just, it's information to be used for purpose in the right way. It's not to glorify or put things on pedestals. It's to actually identify with it as being part of the energy flow of how we live our life, and use what we have in our knowledge base, which in general they've begun as books, but it's not the only way that we can continue to learn and understand life as it's meant to be understood for us. So that is for you, Felicity. I'm hopeful that that is a meaningful and defined way for you to understand something that's going on in your life. And for everyone else, that it is a good general rule to have an awareness of what is happening around us in our history, in what we've had from people past, bringing to us as what we can learn from. And there's many instances where we can see in our world situations, it hasn't been happening too well, has it? Because you'd think that after the number of wars and all sorts of things that happen along that line, that we'd stop doing it, and it doesn't happen. So, let's continue on with, we've just got to keep learning the same lesson until it works. And gradually, look, there will be something that occurs that really gives that some resolution as well. Who knows? Yeah, and that would be centuries away. Who knows? No one does. Look, it's been wonderful to share time with each of you tonight, even in that small time frame of an hour and a half or whatever. It's lovely to actually have you drop by and be here to share the time. And it's lovely to see regular faces who I see in the mornings. I love it. It does feel like that bigger family, and the growing factor as well, inviting new people in all the time and sharing space and place. It's lovely. So thank you to each and every one of you. And hi, Anne. Now, I haven't seen you before either, I don't think. So it's lovely to have the new peoples and faces. So thank you for dropping by. And especially for tagging friends to invite them in as well. The earlier you come on a Friday night with my show, the better. You almost get a guaranteed. Next week might maybe just a plain straight look. You get one card pull each, and that's it. Who knows? That's the fun part. I try and make it a little different each time, and it'll be interesting to see if it's going to be a little different next week or not. We'll go back to something else that I've done before. Who knows? It's just fun to spend the time. So thank you. And apologies to those who haven't made it for the individual card reading, but you have had readings. With any group thing, with anything like this, the group energy is such that even someone else's reading may resonate with you as far as some of the cards and what they mean, and Spirit's telling you this is for you as well. So don't disregard that. If you feel that someone's, oh, gee, that feels about right for me, it's for you too. Okay, so at any point in time, you can watch this as a replay. I don't take them down. They're there all the time. So good day. How are you, Sarah? My day was full. So, yes, it was full. I'm just going to I'm going to put this up in the stream. It's one of the links. Oh, and I've got that way. I'm just going to put it there. It's a link to, I'm hoping I've put the right link in this time. I've been trying to perfect the links. It is a bit.ly one, but it's to the Curiosity Tea card reading. I've done several of these today for clients. I love doing them. And I have demonstrated those here at some point in time. You can go back, have a look, see for the readings where it's on a mat with 18 cards. You'll know it. So it's a great way to do a reading, and I'm just going to have a quick look to see if there's anything that I should really bring forward besides the card readings. I love to share the feedback, and most with this, Kylie, I'm just going to say at this point I'm feeling a no as far as thinking of you these days. I'm just getting a no. Things need it. Yeah, I think there's times where you've got to cut the cords and understand that life moves on. That's what I'm getting there. It's not what is your understanding of thinking of you as well. So, in what context are you expecting more than what's going to be there? There's thoughts, but it's not thinking of you. Okay. And I think I'll leave it there. Yeah. And now, why is someone asking to have an inbox? Looks like we have a troll. Did we have a troll? Yes. There's sneaky ways that some of them are doing them now. And I find it very interesting. It almost feels like they're wanting to set up a conversation, but don't fall for it. So there you go. And I think that's about it for tonight. And Nat's giving some feedback. Yes, as new beginning. Yep. So thank you for that. Right. I'm going to leave it there. And here's feedback that's really fun, isn't it? Hi, Ros. I had a card from you last week and you said I was getting money, and you did. You won $30. Just thought you'd let me know. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you for letting me know. I think that's a hoot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I think that's great. So thank you. And yeah, they can be absolutely spot on and detailed, can't they? So thank you. Now I'm going to just whiz down to the bottom. Oh, Deidre. So it's lovely to watch this way of readings. I love it for being so creative. Have to head to bed early night. Thank you so much, Deidre, for being here. It's lovely to have each and every one of you here. And that's where I'm going to leave it. So thank you. So thank you. Tomorrow morning I'll still be back at 8 o'clock, as I usually am, for the daily Lenormand card spread reading, and I love doing those too. That is a general card spread reading. It's none of the card pulls or etc. But certainly join in. And oh, hi Liz, another YouTube watcher. That's lovely. I hope you subscribe and share. So sorry you missed my live. Catch me next week. Yeah. It's the same time each week. It's 7:30 Adelaide time. I am Adelaide, so yeah. So cool, Bickies. We're going to. Oh, I didn't get that off, did I? Sharing it with my little witchy poo self there. Yeah. So thank you. We share space tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Adelaide time. Pretty much the same channels, and weekly on a Friday at 7:30 Adelaide time. So it's lovely sharing time with you, and I'll be here tomorrow. Just keep being the best you that you can be. Namaste.